Righto, welcome back to another episode. So I know it's been a while, I've been lazy, I've been busy, how things get. Just feed it to me in the comments, I'll take it. But anyway, this episode, we are going to be building a little mini shed. So not just any little shed, a little man cave for this little guy right here. Don't be scared, mate, you'll be right. Anyway, so my partner's little dog needs a little place to stay while he's chilling out at the back here. So I'm gonna build him a little, try and mimic the shed here, take a few little design traits of the shed and see what we can build for him. So let's have a crack, eh? And for those who haven't already, it'd be good if you hit that like and subscribe button and let us know what you think in the comments. So let's get into it. Righto, so just been to Bunnings, picked up a few sticks of timber. So I got some 70 by 35 treated pine. And while I was there, I've seen these pallets out the back. A couple of them have got some decent sort of timber on them. So I thought I might be able to use it for something, but I don't know, we'll see how we go. But anyway, let's chuck these off the roof and get stuck into it. So I figured first thing I'll do is just build like a floor plate for it. So it'd be like a subfloor type system. So I'll just cut a few bits of wood up for that. Knock that up and we'll get working on the rest of it. So let's do it. Righto, pieces cut. So if I had a nail gun, I'll just quickly bang these together, but at the moment I don't. So I'm just gonna put in a few of these galvanized bugles. So they're about 60, 75 mil, I think, can't remember now. So I'll just pre-drill, screw them in, bang, done. Just make sure it's square and we're good to go. So knock this together, we'll get stuck on the next bit. Righto, so the floor plate's done. So what I'm gonna do next is just line the enclosed part with some yellow tongue. So I've just got some offcuts from what I've had in the shed here. So I'll just cut it in pieces just to make it fit because I don't have something that's the entire size. So I'll just cut that down, put it in there, and then we'll get started on the framing. So let's do it. Righto, so all the enclosed section is all now floored with the yellow tongue. There's a few little joins and stuff here and whatever, but it doesn't really matter because it's all going to get covered by a bottom plate which I'll frame up later. So now that's done, push this aside and I can start knocking up the frame. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put together the two end sides, so they're just pretty easy straight frames, and then once I've got those two heights I'll be able to work out the angled side. So this is just going to have just like a simple skillion roof, so I'll do those after I've got the ends up, and then I'll work out the little lean-to to the front. So let's do it. Righto, so knock the two end frames up, so I'll just lift those up and then I'll probably just chuck some screws down into the base and I'll brace these up just so I can measure off for the angle and do the two side frames, and then can start working up the end and the roof. So screw this together, keep going. Righto, so all the enclosed section is all framed up now, so I'll just sort of run you through what I've done so far. So I've pretty much got an opening for the entry, so later I'll just cut that bottom plate off for the width of the doorway. Then the idea is he comes through here and then there's like a little bit of a U-turn type thing, so if it's windy or something the wind doesn't blow all the way through. So yeah, I just put a little divider in the middle, same break as all the rest of the other side pieces, and just screwed it all down. So next is a little lean-to we're going to do at the back here. So he's got a nice little covered outdoor area. So I'm going to make a couple of posts, two laminated pieces of 70 by 35. That'll attach to the base as well as the roof framing. So the roof will just be a simple frame that I'll just wrap around and attach to the face of this little wall section here. Let's have a crack. Righto, so that's a solid little doghouse. The frame's done. What I want to do now is actually just work on the little lean-to flooring area. So out here I want to do like a little deck. So I'm thinking I might be able to utilise the slats on those pallets over there. So what I might do is pull apart a few of those pallets, see what I've got to work with, and yeah, I might just lay them in here. So I might actually end up putting another fixing rail depending on which way I want to run the slats, but yeah, we'll see what I've got to work with first and then we'll go from there. Let's do it. So all those slats are all cleaned up now. Just gave them a bit of a hit with the sander, knocked off the edges on all the corners, and just cut them all to size. So they'll just fit in here. So I've also just framed up inside that little deck area and just taped off the tops of all those timbers just to protect it from a bit of water later. So these are all just sitting here. So essentially they'll sit in there like that. I'm not going to screw them off just yet because I want to just sort out a few other things on the frame. So that'll be that. The other thing I've just quickly done is just knocked up a quick frame for the roof. So this is actually just going to be like a lift-off hinged style roof. So it'll be hinged on the lower side here. Essentially it'll just lift up like that. So if you need to get in there and clean it for whatever reason, you can. So I'll put the hinges on this and that should be that. Righto, roof's done. So it's all hinged now. I've actually just used a couple of galvanised steel gate hinges, so that worked out well. I just sort of banged them into place so they sort of fit that angle. So I do have a little bit of a gap there that I didn't really realise, but anyway, I'll sort that out with the cladding ladder, you won't even notice it. So now all the framing's done, the roof's done, so all I got to do now is just sort of line it all. So I'm actually going to clad the inside as well as the outside. So in here I'm probably just going to use some free pallet slats that I can just pick up from Bunnings or something. So I might get stuck into that, do that first before I've got the outside done, so I make it easier on myself to get in here. So let's do that. Righto, so I've finished off a fair bit of the inside there and I was going to just do this end wall here. I'm just going to quickly clad it up. Then I decided, I might put a little window in for him. So I quickly knocked up a little frame here, routed out the back, and I'll just put a bit of perspex in there. I just had a bit of leftover from some other job. So I'll silicone that in and I'll fix it in there. So I've just put a couple of timbers top and bottom just to hold it in place. Bit of an overkill, but that's just leftover stuff that I had from those pallets. So I'll knock this in here and yeah, I'll keep finishing off cladding the inside. And then I guess we can get started on the outside. So let's do it. Righto, so I finally finished lining all the inside there. So what I ended up doing in the area that's sort of more exposed, I've just used some fence paling. So that's what I'm going to use to clad the whole external part of the little house here. So that's what I've just run in along that side. So all I've done is just give them a quick sand. I've obviously cut them to size and yeah, just butted them up next to each other and screwed them in. So now I can get started on the outside. So what I want to do is actually like insulate it. So is not getting too cold if it gets a bit nippy at night. So I'm actually going to just use a bit of spray foam and just spray all the inside walls before I line the outside. So I'm actually just gonna tape up a couple of the gaps just so the foam doesn't want to just shoot straight in, or I don't have heaps of foam that I've got to clean up later. So I'll tape it all up. I'll hit it with the spray foam. So I just got a bit of this expander foam. So I'm hoping this does the trick and doesn't go too out of hand for me, but yeah, we'll see how we go. So yeah, let's do that. Here he goes. Righto, so this clearly ain't working. I'm gonna have to try something else. Whew, righto, so yeah, that didn't work out as I thought it was gonna. There's a bit of a mad rush there at the end because I didn't want all the foam to just fall out. So what was happening was it wasn't really sticking to the back like I was hoping it was going to. So what I ended up doing is just putting every second slat on like I would have done anyway, but that just gave me a bit of time to just spray behind it so it didn't want to fall back, and then put the next one on and so forth. So I think that's how I'll sort of go about doing it for the rest of it. But yeah, worked out all right other than that. So we'll keep going. Righto, so I found a better solution to fill all these walls with the foam. So when I put the second slat on, I've got that little gap at the top. So that's just wide enough so I can get the nozzle down there and I can just fill it all up like that. So that makes it a bit easier for me. So I'm just gonna go about doing it like that from now on. So it makes it easier as well later if I need to like top it up or whatever. I can still get to the top later. So let's do it. Righto, so it's another day. Last time I was here, I finished off the rest of the cladding on it, so everything's all buttoned up in that respect. Next, I've got a few little bits and pieces left. So I've got the deck, the little lean-to section, and the roof. So I might just do the little lean-to roof here. It's just mainly for a bit of shade, so I'm just gonna use the same cladding sort of stuff as I've done on the walls. So that'll just easily go up there. And yeah, then we'll get stuck in the rest of it. Let's do it. Righto, the little lean-to roof's done. I just need to put another little fascia bit here, but I ran out of timber, so got a feeling I'm probably going to end up back at Bunnings at some point, so I'll just add that to the list. Next, I might just do the little deck area. So for the deck, I'm just going to pretty much pre-drill, screw it down, and I've just got a bit of linseed decking oil that I'll just put on it just to give it a bit of protection because it's just normal hardwood. So go about doing that. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, for a couple of pallet slats, it's actually looking pretty good. So the deck's all done, oiled up, so that's ticked off the list. So next I'm gonna just tackle the lift up lid, or the roof, whatever you wanna call it. So for that, I've just got a bit of carbide roof sheet. So I'll pretty much just cut it to size and screw it down, and then I'll do a few little trim bits, and the roof is done. Let's do it. Righto, so there you go. So that is the basis of it done. Now I'm just going to give it a lick of paint. So I'm just going to hit it with a bit of sandpaper just to knock off a few of those little jagged bits on all the timber here and there. But other than that, I'm pretty much just going to paint it just as it is. I'm kind of wishing that I didn't put the decking boards or the roof on, and I could have just sprayed it all with the spray gun, but anyway, is what it is. So I'll just paint it all with a paintbrush. So I've just picked up a bit of just some cheap fence paint really. So this is the same sort of paint that I've done on some fence palings outside. So I'm just gonna hit it with that. And yeah, let's get into it. Righto, so job done. It's all painted up, oiled up the deck, everything's all good. So it's been out here for about probably 2 weeks. So it's had a good chance to weather in and see if any leaks happen. So it's been pretty good, touch wood. Hasn't really got too hot in there. We've had a few real hot days, and yeah, I've checked it out a few times, and yeah, it's managed to actually stay pretty cool. Helps that it's in like a bit of a shaded area as well. So yeah, the next test will be in the winter, see how cold it gets if it does. So hope it doesn't get too bad, or else I'll have to sort something out. But anyway, so it's all painted up. So the roof opens up nice and easy. You can check it all out, make sure there's no rubbish or anything in there, clean it out, whatever you got to do, and yeah, it's good to go. So there was a prerequisite for this, had to have some sort of pink in it. So I've got the name at the top, so Coco's name, and just a little pink little accent up the top there. So yeah, fits in well for him, and yeah, hope you enjoyed that episode, got something out of it, and yeah, pretty easy to build really, just a few bits of timber, fence palings. Hardest bit was probably the roof, but other than that, it was pretty cruisy. So yeah, give it a crack yourself, I reckon. What do you reckon, mate?